Hey everyone, Kirk Johnson here, Kirk's Motorrad Shop, Crystal Lake, Illinois, bringing you another video. I don't know if this is a do-it-yourself video or what this video is really going to turn out to be at this point, but this bike just came in a little bit ago. It is an F800 GS, and it is in a no-start condition. Now, what I would suspect right off the bat is maybe the fuel pump went bad, because, you know, on the K16s we get fuel pumps all the time that go out. This one, the fuel pump is actually a little, it's almost just in line with the engine. Now, it's not sitting up here. If the fuel tank was up here, this one, it might have enough gravity to feed the fuel system, like the K1600s do. This one, being that the fuel tank is underneath the seat, that's going to change that. So that's my suspicion right now. Although, I don't know until I do some diagnostic work. The guy told me that at one point they had hooked up a pro shifter to this thing, or maybe it was some aftermarket shifter, you know, like an automatic kind of shift assist, okay? And they didn't like it. So the story is that the guy removed the shifter, and I don't know if he ever started the bike again afterwards. I would almost think that you'd have to start the bike at some point, you know, like the bike did run. But that is kind of in question. Now, when he removed it, he said that all he did was he cut a wire. Okay, so I don't know. I'm hoping it was not, it was just the shift wire. But even if it was, you know, the way that these things operate is it kind of, especially the aftermarket ones, they kind of will stall the engine real briefly, and then, you know, it will unload the transmission while you're kind of pulling up on the shifter, kind of like when you blip the throttle, you know, in a no clutch shift. Anyways, that's kind of the premise of the way they work. And I don't know, maybe if he cut the wire, maybe it's now stuck in like the permanently not working mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of diagnostics on this thing. And hey, if you do appreciate this type of video, leave a comment down below, and maybe check out some of the links that are down in the description of this video, and you can see how you can help support some of the work that I do here just in making these videos. Obviously, I get customers that bring me bikes from all around the country, and you know, that has its own support in itself, but I could definitely use some help with making the creation of some of these videos. But we won't get into that too much right now. We're going to get into this right now, this F800. So what I'm going to do is lower it down and then just quickly demonstrate. So I'll turn this thing on. You can hear it, you know, going through its self-checks in this area. And I don't think I hear a fuel pump. No, I felt something move. Yeah, I do hear a fuel pump pop on, so I think that the pump might actually be working, or at least it's trying to work. Maybe it's not working. And you can hear it's not firing off. It should have fired off right away. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull the seat off and run a code check first thing. So if you don't have one of these tools, this is the GS911 tool. Extremely handy working on these BMWs. There are some other options out there, but from what I've found so far, this is one of the most comprehensive ones. Let's see if it finds anything. It should have a code if it's not starting. It should be showing something. So let's just run a quick scan on it and see what it shows. I know you're not going to really be able to see the screen over there very well, especially if you're looking at this video on your phone. Maybe it didn't have time to boot up enough. It's got plenty of voltage. It's got 12.3 volts. And we got an engine controller issue. And it is saying injector valve number 1 is a problem, as well as injector valve number 2. I'm going to have to do a little investigation work on that. But what I'm going to do right now too is I'm going to find where this wire is that the guy disconnected. Because, boy, I just feel like that could be interfering here. All right, I see a wire right here. And I'm sure that this is not something that is stock on here. So not sure what that one's for. All right, it's, you know, it's always an issue when you don't know what's what, and you know, you didn't install something, and you have to try to do some investigation work to find out where things are going and what they're connecting into. So I'm going to go ahead and remove some panels here to try to trace down these wires and see where they're going. And I can feel it moving in there somewhere. So I'm going to just try to discover where these wires are going, because this is obviously part of that system, and without it, you know, maybe this is what's interfering in the running of this bike. Okay, here's what I found. So these wires were definitely part of whatever that system was, that shifting system, and really was just unplugged. So the guy wants to remove it, and or at least, you know, I think he wanted to disable or get rid of this thing altogether. So we're going to do just that. But what I need to do in here, I can see that these wires, like these green and red wires here, these are hooked into the original, looks like the original plug that is for one of the injectors. And that injector wire then would be connected directly into the injector. That's why our bike's not running, because the injectors aren't hooked up. But it's really just a matter of now getting in there and accessing this stuff. So what I'm going to attempt to do is, I don't want to remove this box entirely if I don't have to, because there's a lot of things underneath here that are going to, you know, kind of create issues. So what I want to do is, you know, tip it one way or the other if I can. If I have to remove the whole thing, then so be it. I'll get in there and do this, but I'm going to try to get away with just rehooking these wires, you know, see if it works. So in order to get this box off, I need to pull out these two screws that are in the back here. There's a couple of screws that are down here by the battery. There's battery holder here. I probably need to pull the battery, and just to create enough room so I can lift this thing one way or the other. By the way, this guy, the reason he's doing all this too is he wants to sell this bike, and it doesn't have very many miles on it. It's a really nice bike. I like these things. I like these F800s. I picked one up for the wife, not the GS, but the F800 GT. What a fun bike that is. Just a riot. I think I can get to it. I was able to lift this up just a little bit and get in there without pulling everything apart. Okay, that's one injector done. Let's see. That was probably the easy side too. So I'm going to go over and try to get that other side done. Okay, I was able to get both of those hooked back up. I'm really quite confident this is going to start the bike. I just can't see a reason why, unless that pump did go bad, which that wasn't why it wasn't starting. I think that code that it was throwing was certainly the code for fix the injectors. You know, the injectors basically, because that wire wasn't hooked up, the injectors just weren't getting a signal. So I need to get this thing out and ride it too to run some of this fuel out of it. Took a whiff out of the gas tank. Woo! That's some special sauce in there. But I do think it'll start the bike. It probably has you know, 70 or so octane. Probably gonna run too good, but it'll run. It's all hooked up enough that I can start it up. Just make sure it works. Just like that. Good to go. All right. Thanks for coming along on this journey to get this bike running again. Wasn't too hard. Maybe that's my next customer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. And hey, get out there and ride. That's what these bikes are for. They're not made to just sit in your garage. Get out there and put some miles on them. Wear them out.